Okay, so today on Who is Deadliest, we compare two of the fiercest and toughest guerrilla fighters the USA have ever fought. It is the Taliban against the Viet Cong. These two are, well, they're guerrilla fighters. They're not really known for being well trained, and they both use hit and run tactics as your traditional guerrilla fighters would do, such as the Apaches, the IRA, two fighters today, Taliban, Viet Cong, and these two both believe in the cause that they're fighting for. These two, from what I can tell, pretty much both fight to eliminate outsiders from their country. So anyway, as far as the setting goes, with either one of those two, you're taking either of them and putting them in a setting that is not familiar to the other one. It's like the Viet Cong are used to fighting in a jungle, and the Taliban are used to fighting in a desert kind of thing. But I do think that they would do a jungle again, because without the jungle, the Viet Cong's punchy stick traps would be useless. But anyway, with all that being said, let's start with the weapon comparison. First off is the Makarov pistol against the Tokarev TT-33. This edge was, close. The Makarov pistol is the same one that the Spetsnaz used, but that's no surprise there. It's a Soviet-made gun, and the Taliban, from what I can tell, use a lot of Soviet-made weapons, so that doesn't really surprise me. But as far as which gun do I think has the edge here, this edge would have to go to the Makarov. Okay, so next up is mid-range between the RPG-7 rocket launcher, and even though I'm not sure this is completely accurate, and I did find this on, I think it was a museum site, and I do plan to leave a link below so you can check it out for yourself. It's the Viet Cong homemade rocket launcher. Alright, so when I found this rocket launcher of the Viet Cong's, for one, they also used the RPG, but I didn't want to use the RPG for the Viet Cong as well, because it would end up as a draw. I would pretty much have no choice but to make that a draw, because they are the exact same weapon. But as far as which weapon do I think has the edge here, I think I'll have to go with the RPG-7 for now, due to the fact that the homemade rocket launcher, I didn't really see a lot as far as its stats go, so I think I'll have to go with the RPG-7. Alright, so next up is long range between the AK-47 assault rifle and the MAT-49. At first I thought this was dead even, but then I looked at the stats, and the AK-47, as far as range goes, is like over 3 times the range of the MAT-49. So therefore, I have to go with the AK-47. I think that one has the edge. But yeah, MAT-49 could definitely do something here. Definitely more than it did against the SS. Alright, so next up is special weapons between the bayonet and the punchy stake traps. Let's see, well, the punchy stake traps, they show 2 kinds of stake traps on the show. The stake pit, where you fall in it and you basically get impaled by a bunch of stakes covered in feces, or you basically get hit by a spike ball that is coming at you, and basically the soldier, the actor, got hit in the neck and the face, stuff like that. So this is a potentially deadly weapon, but it's not a guaranteed kill. The Taliban bayonet, on the other hand, you put that on the end of your AK-47, you turn your gun into a spear, and I bet that would pretty much kill every time, so I gotta go with the bayonet. Alright, so next up is explosive weapons between the PMN mine and the F1 grenade and POMC-2 combination. Alright, so this edge was actually kind of easy. Both of them, I think, are designed to take out one man at a time, so without that being the factor here. But the F1 grenade underneath the POMC-2 pretty much seals the deal as far as killing goes. Even if you deactivate the POMC-2, surprise, you have a grenade right underneath that ready to blow you up. So I gotta go with the POMC 2 and F1 grenade as a combination. Alright, so that was a weapon comparison. Let's do a quick review. Short range, actually through special weapons, was the Taliban, surprisingly. But for explosive weapons, that was the Viet Cong. Alright, so last but not least, who I think is deadliest? Well, in Season 3 they started doing X Factors. So, as far as X Factors go, which one is more trained? I picture that edge going to the Taliban, due to the fact that these guys train from when they are like younger than me. We're talking 13, 14 years old. They learn to kill people. Viet Cong, I'm not sure what the exact age of when they start to train, but I think they train from adulthood. So as far as training goes, I think I had to go with the Taliban. But as far as the home field advantage goes, since I do picture they will use a jungle again, that edge would have to go to the Viet Cong. But anyway, I think that as far as this matchup goes, which one do I think is deadliest? I think the Taliban would take it, but the Viet Cong would have an easier time with them than they did against the Nazi Waffen-SS. And even though they would have an easier time with the Taliban, I don't think they'd win. I think that the Taliban would still win, but I do picture it being closer, like the Taliban having the victory like 2,600 or something in that range to the Viet Cong's 2,400 or something in that range. But I would like to see this fight, because this would be a very good fight to see. And well, I hope they do this fight in the future if the show has a season 4. I hope it does. But anyway, thank you for watching. This has been B Mitch. I'll see you next week with a brand new episode. Tell me who you think is deadliest. Leave any ideas for a matchup below, and I hope you like it. See you next week.